Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. Excuse me. So, thank you for joining me. For those of you who know me or don't know me, I'm Leon. I'm the trainer here over at Back to Basics Dog Training, and each and every Saturday morning, I bring you this live free Q&A dog training session where I answer all your dog training questions. No questions are off limits. We're here to help. And for those of you who also might not know or do know, every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm doing the same platform to try to hopefully reach a broader market and get the word out there so together we can help one dog and one family at a time. So if you're here watching now or later on the replay, shoot me a comment. Let me know you're watching. Give me a shout out in the comments. Good morning, Judy. How's my big sister doing out there on Long Island? So we're here to answer all your questions, and we'll get started with the topic of the week. And like I said, if you're here, pop a comment in. Let me know where that you're watching, where you're watching from. That does me a great service to my heart, and it makes me feel like we got people interacting here. So I got a great email from somebody. I believe it was from my Tuesday night one. So I'm going to repeat this probably Tuesday night a little bit, but it's actually was a real good statement she made to me. She's been working on my Mastering the Walk Back to Basics style on my YouTube channel. It's how to leash train my dog in 5 easy steps, which is really mastering the walk. And she's been working on it. She's having some huge success, but what she's noticing is about halfway through, her 5-month-old puppy starts acting a little wonky, biting at her ankles, biting the leash, getting overly stimulated. Now, it's kind of common, guys, on a 5-month-old puppy that's going to happen. We got to remember they're still babies. They still have, their attention span is shorter than an adult dog, a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old dog. So they're going to make mistakes. It's no different than raising kids. They're really good, and all of a sudden they act up. It happens. It's how we move them past it. So when you're walking with your dog, and if it's a puppy or if you're an adult dog, it doesn't matter, and they start acting up, they start getting excited at that point. Remember, the 4 C's of dog training: calm, confidence, consistency gets the control that you really want. You want to sit there, dog starts getting excited, starts biting at your ankle, starts doing something. You're going to pop the leash with a firm no, and you're going to stop everything. Stop the walk. Stop it at that point. No, give them something else to do. Sit, wait till you see that the mind is calm, and then you can praise and continue the walk. It's so important. They test us. And like I said, they're like kids. If you think about kids test us constantly. They're constantly testing the boundaries and how far they can go, and dogs do the same thing. Those tests are more crucial. Reason being is, if you don't pass the test, they're not going to take you seriously as that calm, confident pack leader that they want you to be. And well, if you're not doing it here and you're not staying consistent on this test, why do I have to listen to you when we're at home? And it's just a snowball effect. So I just want to bring that out. They do test us. Those tests are crucial. I've worked with enough customers to know, they've had, some of my customers have huge success in whatever the issues are that we address with their dogs, and they see it's great for 2-3 weeks in a row, and they think, oh my God, yes, we're past that hurdle. Then the dog tests, and the human gets frustrated because we just had good 3 weeks. What are you doing? I don't understand it. You had it. What's going on? Those are tests, guys. They're so important. Those tests, you actually want to stay as calm as possible because you want to reinforce the behaviors that you worked on and move forward. So I wanted to bring that up. And then on Tuesday night, one of the ladies, because, you guys all know, and I'll put it up here, I talk about energy all the time. Energy. Energy is the most crucial thing in our communication to our dogs. Doesn't matter the verbal words, it doesn't matter the corrections. If your energy is off doing anything, your dog is not going to respond the way you want. And And I'm going to use an example that happened here. I worked with a lady who lives over here. She has a little long-haired dachshund, cute little thing, Lulu. Lulu is a great dog, but a barker. Good morning, Michelle, Rob, Athena, and Bergen. Um, Lulu is a great dog, but a typical dachshund. Yep, 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 yep. Sees anything, barks, barks, high pitched, annoying, screeching, like fingers going across a chalkboard type of bark. And I worked with her. I taught her about the calm and the energy and all this type of stuff. But I observe, I see she walks with the dog, and the dog barks at every dog. It goes crazy every time it sees a dog, sees a human, whatever. And she has absolutely no control. But when we worked together, we had control. She had control. I had control. It was a great thing. And so the other day I was walking Zoe, and we saw them coming. And instead of watching Lulu, I watched Mom. And Mom saw me coming around the corner before Lulu did. And what happened? Mom's body language, I saw it just change. She got tense. She grabbed the leash a little hard. Dogs are humans. They act like us. Good morning, Ventina. They have a lot of the same human traits, but we make the mistake because we humanize them. And that's not doing them a service. So getting back to the Lulu story is Lulu, I approached with Zoe, and Lulu barked at Zoe, was going crazy. I took the leash. I made one firm correction. One firm correction. Boom, no. Lulu said, "Oh, okay." And Mom's looking at me like, "What just happened?" And I'm like, "It's your energy." And the question I had Tuesday night on my live was, how do you control your energy? Guys, there's no magic to it. You have to believe in the system. Your energy is going to make or break. And what we have to do as humans, we have like, I'm going to use Lulu as the example. Lulu's mom, her mindset when she's walking Lulu is Lulu's going to see another dog and Lulu's going to react. And I have to be prepared for that. Good morning, Phyllis and Junior from Brooklyn. So through the leash, she's communicating to Lulu to do exactly what she doesn't want Lulu to do. It's her energy. And that why? Because yesterday, the day before, the day before, the day before, the day before, Lulu's reacted this way. So mom has it in her mind, this is what's going to happen. And that projects a negative energy. So the hardest thing for us as humans to do is control ourselves. Have the 4 C's of training, guys: the calm, confidence, consistency to get the control. Good morning, Terry and Ace from Rocky Point, my old stomping grounds. Um, so what we have to do is learn when we're working with the dogs, no matter what the behavior was yesterday, that doesn't matter. Our job is to move forward and move them forward. So what happened yesterday, you can't fix. So why are you living in yesterday? And this is the mindset to get the energy that you need to have. Well, Lulu made a mistake yesterday. That was yesterday. You can't fix yesterday. That works in our human lives too, guys, by the way. Mistakes we made yesterday, we can't fix today. All we can do is try to move forward so we don't make the same mistake again. And if we did make a mistake and we hurt somebody, we need to figure out ways to rectify it. But it's the same theory with the dog. So if Lulu barks at every dog yesterday, when I grab that leash, I don't think about yesterday. I think about the moment. Right now, what can I do to stop this unwanted, not bad, unwanted behavior? And if I can change my mindset to say, I'm living right now in the moment, at this particular second, my energy changes. If I worry about yesterday, my energy is off. If I even worry about tomorrow, my energy is off. So when I work with these beautiful creatures that God has given us, these canine or whatever it is in the Latin term, these dogs that God has given us, you know, I work with them in the moment with them to move them forward for a better tomorrow. because today builds tomorrow. Yesterday destroys tomorrow. If that makes sense. In the comments, put it down, guys. Let me know if it makes sense because I've been thinking about this. How can I get you guys to understand the energy that I use when I work with the dogs? Good morning, Jackie. When I work with these dogs, I don't look at the issue of the dog. I do, but I don't look at the issue of the dog. I don't look at what the dog did yesterday. I don't look at the dog's life from yesterday. I look at what the dog is showing me right now, what I need to help move them forward for a better tomorrow. This is why I talk to rescue groups and I talk to foster people, especially. Fosters are beautiful, beautiful people. They want to help these dogs. My issue with fosters is they bring them into the home and they help the dog stay in yesterday. The dog doesn't want us to stay in yesterday. The dog wants us to stay in the moment with them. What are they communicating to us? We're scared. Okay, let's break this. There's no reason to be scared anymore. I'm unsure. Let me help you move past this. Phyllis says, so true. The calmer I am, the calmer he tends to be. Absolutely. If the dog is overly excited and I feed into that energy, I'm keeping the dog in an overexcited state of mind. If the dog is scared and I'm coddling it, I'm keeping the dog in the scared, unsure state of mind. That is not what our dogs want from us. Our dogs want us to be that calm, confident pack leader. And how do we do that? It's hard because we're humans. We think about too much. That's why I like my KISS theory of training. Keep it simple, stupid. We complicate it. We think too much. We get involved in too much. We don't know how to work with our instincts. We're all creatures of Mother Nature. We all have instincts. And some instincts are learned behaviors that become instinctual. Look in both ways before you cross the street. When you're a kid, you think about it. As an adult, you don't think about it. It's learned behavior that has now become part of your instincts. So if we look at dogs for what they are, Mother Nature's creatures, they work specifically and solely with their instincts. So if they're insecure, yes, there may be a reason. How do I project being firm without being harsh? That is a great question. It's all about being calm. Good morning from Nancy Trixie in India Land. Nancy, I actually started off with your email question about walking with the dog, and halfway through the walk, the dog, Trixie starts getting a little batty and doing things you don't want, these unwanted behaviors. Guys, it's real hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. Assertion and anger are this close together. That's the problem. And as humans, we don't know how sometimes to differentiate that. But you really want to tap into it. So if you find yourself making a correction and you'll sense it, your energy feels off. Slow it down. Back it up. Go back to basics. No pun intended. Well, actually, a lot of pun intended. Take a deep breath. Breathe in the roses, like my mom used to teach me. Blow out the candles. Center your energy and start over. If you make the mistake, that's fine. Learn from it. Don't make the same mistake twice and move forward. It's your dog will tell you, like Phyllis said, the calmer she is, the calmer he tends to be. So your dog will tell you truly what your energy is. You can fool me. You can fool yourself. You can fool your spouse, your significant other, your best friends. You can fool us all saying, I'm calm. You can't fool your dog. It's impossible. They're going to pick it up and say, nah, you're not calm. I need to take control. And that's what happens. Because in our heads, we're saying, okay, I'm calm, I'm calm, I'm calm, I'm calm, I'm calm, I'm calm. But if you're doing that, you're not calm. You have to trust yourself. Because once you trust yourself and your dog will start trusting you. And once you trust your dog will trust you that much further and that much more. I don't know if further was the right word. Every single dog I work with, and it doesn't matter the issues, I trust from the moment I meet them. And they could be the most aggressive dog on the face of the earth. I trust them not to do that to me. I trust that what I believe in is they have communicated for, if it is an aggressive dog, they have, um, if they have aggression issues. To me, an aggressive dog is something that just wasn't properly addressed once it showed some sort of sign saying, I am not comfortable with this. So it was a miscommunication between the human and the person that really has created this dog to become aggressive. And my job is to try to figure out, what are you saying to me now? And I'll tell you now, most of the aggressive dogs I've worked with, and I've worked with more than I care to admit, because I don't like using that term aggressive. What I realized from 99% of them is they're insecure, they're scared, and people have misinterpreted what they're saying, or they've tried to force them out of this insecure, scared state of mind and pressured them to do something they're telling that human they're not comfortable with. They're shy around people, so people get right into the dog's face and I'm gonna be your best friend and I love you and we're gonna put all this pressure on you. And the dog's in there going, leave me alone. I don't want to be here. I want to crawl into a shell. And we keep putting that pressure on. Finally, the dog says, you know what? Screw this. You're not listening to me. And that's when they bite. Why? Because we didn't read the energy they were communicating to us. We saw this insecure, scared dog, and we came over with high energy. Oh my God, we're going to be your best friend. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the dog is sitting there saying, no, leave me alone. And let them try to figure out how to come to us. I think I told you guys the story. Hardest part is training the human to train the dog. Absolutely. The dogs get it, guys. And I'm not trying to say I'm any better than anybody else on the face of this earth because I'm really not. The dogs get it. There are, I don't know how many of my customers that I've had one-on-ones with in their homes are here right now, but I'm going to tell you now, 90% of the dogs I work with don't exhibit the behaviors mom and dad are talking about the moment I walk into the house. Why? Because my energy tells them I'm not going to tolerate this, and it's not about this. I'm not going to tolerate this. No, no. No, it's the opposite. I walk into the house with that happy-go-lucky goofball dog that jumps all over people, and I'm like, "You're not gonna jump on me." But I don't say it. I don't do it. I just walk in. Body language is important. Energy is important. And I walk in, and the dogs, I've had dogs who literally have started that process of jumping on me to greet me and stopped dead in their tracks midair. I don't know how the hell they do it. And then people just sit there saying, "Whoa, that never happens." But that's the dog. That's your dog. That's your dog. It doesn't want to be jumping on me. It doesn't want to be jumping on your guest. It needs somebody to tell it not to without telling it not to. So your energy is going to be, and here's the reality of it. By observing dogs and paying attention to what dogs are telling me, it has actually helped me in my everyday life to deal with humans because I stay in. I'm going to put that caption up here. Hold on one second. Where is it? Here it is. This trademark saying that I have, there's no anger, there's no frustration, there's no nonsense, is the lifestyle I choose to live 90% of the time, not only when I'm dealing with our precious dogs, when I'm dealing with other human beings, I don't let the anger and the frustration in. Because when I get angry and frustrated, I am not thinking properly because my energy is off. Energy is so important in everything we do in our lives, and our dogs are trying to tell us this. Guys, again, in the comments, let me know if this makes sense. This is such a passion of mine. I know I get very adamant about it, and I sound like I'm preaching, but I'm trying not to. I really am trying not to preach. Um, but let me know in the comments, does this make sense? And what we need to do to check our own selves at the door. I tell guys especially because guys seem to have the biggest problem is when I walk into somebody's home to help them with their dog, I check my own ego at the door. Do I think I'm very good at what I do? Yes, I do. But when I walk in there, it's day one on the job. because I don't know that dog, I don't know that family, you know? So when I walk in, it's day 1. I am not Leon, trainer at Back to Basics dog training, you know, pretty much for 40 years, but 10 years professionally. I don't think that way when I walk in, that I can cure every single dog, blah, 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 blah. No, I walk in as if it's a new day. It's my first day on the job. I don't have the nerves. I don't have the butterflies, because if I walked in there with the attitude that I can fix everything, I'm going to fix absolutely nothing. One, I'm going to alienate my customer, the human. Two, the dog's going to sense that I'm a cocky SOB. So I need to check my ego at the door. And I do. And the dogs appreciate it. I'm hoping the humans appreciate it. The only thing I get in trouble for sometimes is I'm very, very blunt and to the point. But it's focused on their needs, the humans and the dogs. And once somebody hires me, I advocate for the dog, but I'm going to teach the human how to understand the philosophy. The philosophy is the key thing, and that is understanding your dog does not care. Hello, sorry, but Donna, it's great. I'm glad you're here. And I was actually kind of talking about Stark a little bit without mentioning his name, about how energy is so important to these dogs. If I because of my energy, the dogs get it right away. Yeah, Nancy, you say it. You noticed it. If you're calm, the dog is calm. Terry says, I deal with people at work, and if I'm calm in my response, people will bring their energy down. Absolutely. Makes sense. You can preach because obviously you obviously practice and believe in what you preach. I do. It's a lifestyle. I got in trouble once on Long Island. I was working with a pastor, and I said I'm creating a cult of calm, assertive people on Long Island. And I got in trouble because I used the word cult, but it's a following. You know, Donna, energy is such a huge part of this journey. You taught us that absolutely. And when I'm teaching you about the energy we need for our dogs, like Terry said, it works with people too. You know, before 10 years ago, when I created Back to Basics dog training, I worked for corporate America like everybody else because I had kids, I had college. You know, dog training's great. Don't pay for college. Uh, So what I did is I used this philosophy, and I didn't realize it. It really is a lifestyle. It is. People, I always was a manager, general manager, you know, a supervisory position in 90% of my corporate America career. And what I noticed over the years is not when I was young, because when I was young, I was stupid. But as I got older and started understanding what people need, what I needed to do to get the best out of my people that worked. Now, we're not talking about dogs for a second. What I needed to do to get the people who worked for me to work for me, not because I was their boss and they had to. I wanted people to work for me because they wanted to work for me. So what I had to do was check myself every single day before I walked into the office and treated every person there the way I wanted to be treated. So people wanted to work for me because they didn't feel pressured to work for me. And the best way I can give an example, it happened last weekend, and it caught me out of the. Totally caught me off guard. I got a text message from a kid I worked with. I'm going to say over 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago. And he texted me, "Hey, what are you doing?" I texted him back, "Not much. What's going on?" You know, I knew who he was. And he goes, "Do you got a minute to talk?" So I gave him a call, and he goes, "You know, he started working for me when he was, I think, whatever legal age is in New York, 15, 16 years old. Young kid, knew nothing, and no clue about anything in life, really. I mean, he's a young teenage kid. And, you know, he had some home issues. He had some issues. But I was able to work with him together to help him through not only his home issues, some of the things he was struggling with at work. He called me up out of the blue and he looked for me to give him a reference, not the person that owned the company that we both worked for. He looked at me and he goes, I was the only person in all these years that had ever treated him like, I'm not going to use his real name, Peter, and didn't look at him as a number one, two, three, four. He was Peter. I worked with Peter differently than I worked with Paul, differently than I worked with Mary. And there we got the Peter, Paul, and Mary reference. Um, and why? Because I stayed calm no matter what he did. He had some personal issues which affected his work, and I did have to be his boss. But when I had to give him that discipline because his personal life was affecting work, I didn't yell at him. I didn't scream at him. I stayed calm. And he actually told me in our phone conversation, he appreciated that. I treated him, even as a 16, 17-year-old kid, I treated him like an adult, not as a 16 or 7. And the energy I used helped him in his everyday life. In my business, I'm not working for me, but working with me. It's right. It's the same when I'm with Junior. We work with each other. Absolutely. It's a partnership. When I talk about mastering the walk, you guys know I always say it's about structure and leadership, but I also always say it's a bonding experience. The walk should be a bonding experience. We're working together. We're walking together. We're traveling together. Not, oh crap, I got to walk my dog. Oh crap, my dog is going to be reactive. It's what you give to your dog. And the best thing you can give them is those 4 C's of training I constantly talk about: calm, confidence, consistency to get the control. And if you can stay calm and confident, your dog will trust you. And if your dog trusts you, they will follow you to the end of the earth. You can be Thelma and Louise and drive right off that damn cliff. Your dog's going to follow you. And it's beautiful to see when people actually do this. I see it with Donna and her family with Stark. Stark is an invaluable member of their home. And guys, I may have to cut this short. I'm home alone. Zoe's stomach's bothering her. I hear her making some noises in there, so I have a feeling she has to go out. So I may be making this a little shorter today. And as a matter of fact, I think I am going to wrap this up. And I hate to do this to you guys, but I got to make sure she gets out. She's got something with her stomach, and I do hear her making noise. So I need to get her out. The life of being a dog parent. So I don't mean to cut it short, guys, but I am going to cut it short tonight. Um, as always, thank you for inviting me into your home each and every Saturday morning. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be here. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you Tuesday night.